I have a special new co-host today. John is, I don't know where John is. I hired Glenda M. Here she am. Glenda M is M.
Well, John can just edit this out to make it appear that he was not having a nap.
I wasn't having a nap either. You're listening to episode 58, the Valentine special, with Glenda M. and John and Phil even. I hope you enjoy it. I won't. I just told the audience that you're the new special co-host. How are you?
I'm available, just like, Ken Jennings on Jeopardy, to step in.
Who knows? Might take you up on that someday. But really, we're just waiting for John. Waiting for John. That's fine. You made some crumpets the other day.
I did. They were pretty fun. That was the first time I made crumpets. Another quarantine cooking bucket list, I guess.
What? So what is a crumpet?
It's better than an English muffin.
Yeah. Oh.
It's the more British version.
Yeah, they're like more pockets for butter.
Yes, and I'm always in favor of more butter.
Have you ever made your own? I don't know how it's pronounced. Ghee or ghee? Ghee?
Not on purpose. But you can accidentally make ghee when you melt your butter in the microwave and it kind of separates.
Oh, sure.
Usually I tend to buy it at Trader Joe's and then forget about it in my cupboard until it's rancid. So that's my history with ghee.
My wife made it. Somebody told her they should always make it the night before a full moon or something like that, or 4 days before a full moon. I don't know the exact time frame or why, but
otherwise you'll turn into a werewolf when you eat it.
No, I don't think that was it. I don't know. It makes it extra special.
People would follow that more rigorously if that was the case.
It's like the silver bullet of butter.
Food safety items you need to be aware of.
So how have you been with this? The pandemic, and it's got to have a new president and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm tired of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I want to be back to normal. But the new president thing is good. The change is good.
Here, I'm gonna.
That was. I opened some champagne that night. Oh, that was great. That was a highlight of the week. I opened the bottle of champagne and it hit the ceiling, the wall, the kitchen light, and finally the table right in front of my husband.
Hello. Was this like a New Year's thing? A New Year's champagne thing?
It was for the
the
inauguration day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it got some airtime.
It's like one of those like in a movie or something.
When it ricochets around the room, it was almost as good as at my wedding reception. My brother opened the champagne and it bounced off the ceiling of the tent and hit my ex-boyfriend's dad.
Who just happened to be there.
Yes, well, of course. We're still close. So.
My ex-boyfriend's dad. That's a line I could never say.
Yet.
Well,
you never know.
I don't know. Not entirely. So I think John has joined us actually, but he's muted. He's just going to let us talk. Maybe he went to go get a beverage.
Hello, John.
Hey.
Hi, John. We started without you. I tricked the audience into thinking that I got a new co-host.
That's terrible.
And so far, we just have only talked about crumpets and
it might be an improvement.
An interesting thing with a champagne bottle.
No, I'm still trying to figure out my dumb interface.
Oh no, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can. I was not hearing myself, which is one reason I bought the damn thing.
Can you now?
Yes.
Oh, good. It's good to hear oneself.
Sometimes that's the only one that will listen to you.
Well, Very true.
I
Listen
often
to
get
yourself.
asked, are you talking to yourself or should I be paying attention?
That's a question for the ages.
Note to husbands, you should always be paying attention.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a preview of our topic tonight.
Well, yeah. Well, because Glenda, she talked us into doing or inspired, I'll say, the
Strong-armed.
New Year's special, and then we got to talking. It was like we've never done a Valentine's Day special, and that's coming up. So what the heck, huh?
What better time than when we're all looking for new things to do during the semi-quarantine, whatever it is we're still under here?
Okay, but is this really going to come out before Valentine's Day 2022?
I don't know. I'm behind. It's hard. It's just hard to. For a while, we weren't even recording as often, but then it's still kind of hard to edit sometimes. John is better about getting his edits done. Mine take longer.
It's really because of our snowballing popularity. Sure, why not? I'll say that.
Well, your fans make demands of you. Every 2 weeks, we start to feel a little
come on, yeah.
unhappy if there's
Where
not
is
a
it?
new post.
Fine. Well, Glenda's been on the show before, and you can look that one up. And
Welcome back,
Glenda
Glenda.
Wagnalls.
All right. Hey, I have to say, being on this summer was one of the highlights of 2020. So,
Well, it's a low bar. You mean of all the podcasts you
that
appeared
is
on,
true.
this was the best.
Well, Glenda is like we often say friend of the show, but she's like a super duper friendly friend of the show or something. But
weird stalker of the show.
I was going to say friends with benefits of the show, but that's not. I don't.
This is all over Skype.
I don't know.
So the benefits
There's something
are
you're
rather
not telling
limited.
us, Phil.
I don't know her quite that well. So
So my suggestion for the Valentine's show was that I should ask you guys questions about your wives and your spouses, that love. This is about Valentine's. It's about love.
Talk about
Okay.
reasons not to do a live show.
I feel uncomfortable.
You can edit anything out
This is so
that may
awkward.
incriminate you.
Well, before
Okay,
we
you
dive
go
into
first.
that, let's,
You go first, Glenda.
let's take care of some business.
Yeah, what are we drinking?
Yeah, what are we drinking?
Well, I tried some St. Paul whiskey from probably from St. Paul, I guess. Yeah, why didn't I see? I don't ever do research. Hold on, I'm sorry. Somebody else go. No, hold on.
Are you
I just wanna know
Googling
where
it?
it's- Oh no.
I googled mine in advance.
Yeah.
I know I meant to. Oh, are you at least 21 years old? You betcha.
Oh, that is so stupid that
I
all
know, but
those
it's-
booze websites that think they're gonna get kids from drinking by putting a dumb little questionnaire up.
Well, it's
Well, some of them ask for your birthday, which is even. I'm like, well, you're really thinking that people are really stupid if they can't come up with a birthday to make themselves seem to be 21 years old.
I make myself seem older.
Yeah, just say that you're 105 or something.
Yes, they always accept that.
So St. Paul straight bourbon is what I tried from the Panther Distillery, and it's 3 years old, and it has a high rye, and it's nice. It was nice. I'm not drinking that right now, though. I have a little cabin still, but that's what I had earlier.
Didn't want to save the good stuff for the show, huh, Phil?
I didn't. I couldn't. I wish I did.
If I remember correctly, Panther Distillery is one of the earliest Minnesota-based whiskey distilleries.
Yeah.
I mean, we just haven't had them that long because they were not legally here.
No. They got some. They actually have a 14-year whiskey now. That's interesting. They can't be that old, can they? Maybe it's a blend.
They might be.
Why would you do a 14-year? Oh, we don't need to get into
Yeah,
that.
that seems very
That
old
seems
for an American
extreme.
whiskey. But
Okay, that's what I drank and then am drinking and am drunk. No.
stink, stunk. No, that's
Stink,
good.
stink, stunk.
Glenda, what do you got?
Well, you guys have been a bad influence on me as far as my level of whiskey purchases.
I'm told that I'm influencing people too. Sleepy Time lemonade stock went up 0.5 points. So there. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Because I've become more interested in whiskey, and so I tried last time I was at the Total Beverage, I tried Buffalo Trace. Right?
Yeah. That was one of my old favorites.
I like it. It's very good.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I'm getting a little low on that. So I thought I would try something new. And I talked to the young man in the whiskey department who looked not only like he was still in high school, but, definitely not old enough to drink. But he was somewhat knowledgeable about whiskeys, it seemed. And I said, I want an interesting American whiskey. And so he recommended Branch and Barrel, which is handcrafted in Colorado.
Oh, okay, good.
So it's another Colorado whiskey. It is a single barrel something from Centennial, Colorado, hand-selected barrel.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's a little spicier, I would say, than Buffalo Trace.
So it probably has more rye in it, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I'm having I'm having a whiskey sour.
Oh, tasty.
Oh.
Because I bought a bunch of lemons, and you got to use those lemons up. Make whiskey sours.
Did you make like a lemon simple syrup, or did you just put simple syrup in with the lemon, or how did you do it?
I just made a plain simple syrup.
Yeah, and then some lemon juice.
That led to the discovery that if you make simple syrup and set it in your sunroom to cool and forget about it for like a week, it will solidify into like hard candy.
Oh, that
wow.
seems to remind me of some chemical experiment I did when I was a kid.
And then when you go out and look in that pan, you're like, what the devil is this?
Or your husband asks you.
Oh, I knew I made simple syrup.
Glenda, what's this science experiment in the sunroom?
Wait!
Not that your husband sounds like that.
Yeah, he's just learned not to ask about those things.
Very wise.
He doesn't want to know.
Well, John, what do you got?
So I received this bottle from some family members for a belated Christmas present.
Yeah.
And this was new to me, but it's Reigers, Riegers. So Commander Reiger. No.
Rye.
They need a Star Trek. They have Star Trek beer. They should have Star Trek whiskey.
Yeah. Well, George Takei could do the Rye, sir.
Yeah, see? They're missing out, I tell you. If you're listening, George,
he'd do it. Give us a cut. Yeah. Give us a stave.
This is Kansas City whiskey.
Uh-oh.
It is just called whiskey, so it's not officially a rye or a bourbon.
That's the name?
Yeah, no, it's and this, let's see, without boring you out reading the back of the label, it's got corn, malted barley, and rye. So basically your normal...
The big three.
Yeah, and then with a trace amount of dry sack 15-year Oloroso sherry.
Ooh,
so it's got a little bit of sherry influence in it.
Interesting.
It's a little Scotch.
Not just a sherry barrel. It's got a little sherry in it even.
Supposedly, a trace amount, I don't know what that means. They don't really they don't have ratios on here. They're a little sketchy about that, but...
sketchy.
So it tastes a lot like a bourbon, but it does have a little bit of fruit flavor on it. And it's tasty. It's a little different. It's 46%, so not too terrible.
I wanted you to try the St. Paul, but it didn't last long enough. But I was curious what you thought. But it was definitely a rye one, and but it had a crispy kind of spice to it.
So
I don't know. It was nice.
The St. Paul, that's Panther again, right?
Yeah.
And Panther Distillery is not here in the Twin Cities. They're out kind of west of here, I think.
Yeah.
At least that's where they make this stuff. Maybe they put it in barrels and put it down by the river or something like that.
Just send it down the river.
By a van.
Now with
in a van down
extra
by the
mold
river.
is allowed to grow in it. It's good. No, it's nice.
In 2011, Adrian Panther set out with a simple idea: bring great spirits to Minnesota.
Adrian Panther?
I guess.
Thought he never got picked on for that name when he was a kid.
I thought you made that up. Hi, I'm Adrian Panther.
Well, Yo,
Adrian.
The two names don't kind of flow together, do they? Adrian Panther. I don't know. It seems weird.
Sounds
Whatever.
tough.
I don't think it's a real name.
It sounds bogus to me, but that would be par for the course in whiskey, I think. I was impressed though that this gift was it was something that I had not had, let alone heard of before. So that's a good
what
thing.
was it called again?
Riegers.
I have a funny feeling I tried that. I was in Kansas City once and eating barbecue, and I said I want a Kansas City whiskey, and they might have given me that.
Yeah, it's and this is the best part. Speaking of our lovely wives, on the back it says in big letters, "Oh, so good." Speaking of favorite or unfavorite things.
I know. I don't put that on quite as much as I was, but
well, there's one audience member who especially likes.
Oh, good.
I don't know. I've always gotten a kick out of it. But you can overuse almost anything.
It's true.
Pictures of Bernie Sanders from the
Oh
inauguration.
my God! Oh,
I was having
that. I was tired of it, I think.
Well, I had a lot of fun with it the first day. That was really funny. But then it was like in everything, and then any picture that anybody posted, you were like, you kind of looking for Bernie on it. It's like, okay, where's Bernie in this one? No, this is just a regular picture.
I'm being further tortured because a very good friend said she would buy the pattern for the doll to crochet it if I would crochet it for her, and I said sure. And so I'm crocheting this doll, and it is not a 2-hour project. Let's just put it that way.
I don't know how you could crochet anything, let alone a doll. I've seen a picture of a crocheted Bernie Sanders doll,
well,
but
and I've
that
got
looks
one
complicated.
good version and one mutant version going because, I don't know, I must have been having a whiskey sour. The first one I crocheted, and it's a lot shorter than the other one. And then I had I had 2 legs made, and they were of such different sizes that I had to crochet another leg, and it's really not the same size as either of the first 2, so...
And you don't want to give him a third leg. Maybe on the mutant one.
Yeah, maybe I'll just put that one in the back.
A tail.
Or the really tall, the shorter version that's kind of a mutant, just gets 1 leg.
Oh.
It's like X-Men Bernie or something like that.
It'll become a cat toy.
With his magento mittens or something.
Magneto, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
It's the G problem
Maybe
again.
we're talking about it's a McGimlet.
I've had way more to drink than I usually do at 4:30 Mountain Time.
Oh, that's so
No,
early.
it's 4:30 your
Phil is
time.
a terrible influence.
No, I'm a Spanish influenzas. No, that's something different. I'm a mutant strain.
So should we get to our topic at hand here? Are you ready
Please.
to be interviewed
So you
by
have some questions
commentator
for us that
Glenda
are
M?
Valentine's Day related, but we might turn it back on you. You might have to answer too.
I am fully prepared for that.
No,
With-
I'm glad
I'm
somebody's
not.
prepared.
Lies and obfuscation.
Yeah, I might have to make up some things.
To protect the not so innocent. Okay, this first one is very easy. Phil first. How did you meet your wife?
Oh, did you meet your wife? An important person in one's life. I hope it's not filled with strife. How did you meet your wife. All right, let's see. So I'll try to come up with a shorter version. I met her several times. No, the first time. So I worked at a bagel place when I first got out of college called Brugger's Bagels, and there was a guy there named Dave Z, and he was always if he was trying to make he was new to the cities and he wanted to make friends and that kind of thing, and he was always trying to get me to come over to meet his roommates and that kind of thing. And then he alternated with scopes. He'd have his scopes. Some of the customer ladies that would come in, he'd try to. That was his second hobby. Anyway,
scoping them out, not the scopes monkey trial, I'm assuming.
No, yeah, he'd try to scope them out. I don't know. Try to. Hey, you want to go to a coffee shop or something? I don't know. I think that only worked once. But anyway, so finally I relented because I had missed. I was baking bagels, so I got up really early. Like I had to wake up at 4:30. I missed the season finale of Deep Space Nine. Oh no, the season premiere, the first episode of Deep Space Nine. And he, I recorded that. We didn't watch it yet. I recorded that. So I thought, all right. So I'll come over.
And your VCR.
Yes, it was a VCR. It was a pretty big one too. I seem to remember the old days. But anyway, so I thought, okay, I relented. And he was living with 3 other people that from Michigan, and two were ladies. Two were gals, and one was another guy named Andy, who may be on the show someday. Andy E.
Not Andy R. So
no, he's been on the show. Andy E. We got to talking, and we never did. I don't know. It was kind of one of those things. I don't want to say love at first sight, I guess, but we.
Oh, your wife was one of the roommates, or she
yes,
was just there?
Yeah.
For this watch
I
party?
missed
She was
that.
one of
That's
the roommates.
an important part of the story. She was one of the roommates, and so we got to talking, and we never did end up watching Deep Space Nine. But later on, she showed up with a couple friends at Brugger's, and I passed her a little note or something. I don't know. There's a couple other steps.
You mean like in
there.
class?
Yeah, right. I probably wrote it on a napkin. I was really classy.
Did you send it via
well, what did
paper
this note
airplane?
say? Will you marry me? Were you at that point already?
No. I was trying not to be that desperate. I went through it after college. It was a pretty lonely year. It was kind of weird coming here. I didn't know anybody, and but no, it wasn't quite like that. But maybe it was my phone number or something back when I had a phone. And then we went on a few dates, and let's see. You only asked how I met. We walked around a lot of lakes. John was interested in you. Why are you walking around all these lakes? But that's a good way to meet people. And there's a lot of lakes around here, so that's how I met Jody.
Okay.
Jody J.
John.
Jody J.
John, that's the short version, just the meeting story.
That's right. Let's
John,
not get out.
how
Get crazy
did you
here.
meet?
How did you meet your wife? An important person in one's life. I hope it's not filled with strife. How did you meet your wife?
So, unfortunately, I have to. I might get this out of the way right away, but because it cues up a lot of American Pie band camp jokes.
That's okay. I met my husband in marching band. So
Okay, well that's almost as bad, but
It wasn't Ranger Band, at least.
no,
oh my god.
no, you're doomed if that's how you met. No, I met my spouse at Rushmore Music Camp.
Oh
when
yeah.
I was in high school. Actually, we technically were at the same junior high camp too, but we didn't know each other at all, so which is just as well. I'm thinking. But yeah, we somehow got to know each other a little bit at the high school music camp, and I don't know exactly why. Just kind of random, but I ended up talking to her a bit, and it was revealed that our dads were both high school band directors, so hey, there you go.
It's almost like being the minister's kid.
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. And you're like, oh, crap.
Well, you have
what
something
have I
in
done?
common right away.
And,
Did you give her one of our tapes?
Yeah, so I definitely had a crush on her at the time. And it was just, I was even more awkward than I am today. And basically, we sort of stayed in touch after that, and I think I saw her at Allstate and all that stuff. But, she lived in a different town, so it's not like we really talked to each other very much. But
and this was South Dakota, where the towns are not just a few miles apart.
and long distance is expensive, so you don't do it much.
Exactly.
So,
This was back in the day, kids, before free long distance.
we pretty
She
much...
She wasn't a pen pal.
We did exchange a couple letters or cards. I think I still have
Okay,
one of them.
cool.
Which is really funny. But, at some point, I think in high school, we made one of our tapes, and I thought I was going to really impress her by sending it to her. It didn't work. Spoiler alert.
Didn't hear from her for a while after that.
And then we went to
Block.
different colleges and completely lost track, and I did not reconnect with her at all until, about 10 years ago now, here in the Twin Cities area. So, and we'd both been through other relationships and this and that, and for some reason the stars aligned this time, and it happens. So that's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah.
that things ended up like that. But
the earliest picture of you two together.
that would be the mass. There's a picture I still have a copy of all the campers from that year.
Right.
Yep, and we're both in it.
Aw.
I totally can spot her. 'Cause she had big 80s hair and stuff like that. And I looked about the same.
You had big 80s hair too, I remember. No,
It was just
those
more
bangs.
unkempt.
John's bangs were crazy. No,
yeah,
but
that was all of us Knowles kids, at least the brothers. So yeah, that's the story.
All right.
Actually,
well,
now
Go ahead, Phil.
I went to college with MJ. So I don't know if I met her though, but I probably did at some point because
It just wasn't that big a place. It doesn't seem.
no, well, her boyfriend was friends of friends, the Yankton boys. Boy, BOIS. No, that's something different. But anyway, so I may have met her, but I don't remember.
Yeah, her brother actually did remember you though, Phil,
Well,
because he was in choir.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason.
well, yeah, and we were in a choir together. What was the boys' choir called again? And
Statesman.
Statesman, yeah.
It's
I
like
was in
folksman.
Statesman.
Yeah.
I was in the Statesman one semester or something like that. So Dr. Keenan talked me into it. Dr. C, sorry. But more people remember me from college than I remember, but I was kind of...
No, you've got a little SDSU club going on.
I guess. Yeah, it made it even harder when you move to the big cities.
And I really hate
I don't have a club.
I really hate to admit this, but the reason that MJ and I are together now is probably Facebook.
Hey.
Oh,
I
and you
really
hate,
loathe
you hate
Facebook,
Facebook.
but yeah, I
If it wasn't for Facebook, how would you have known?
Exactly.
Oh, no. It's a love-hate relationship. With
it
Facebook.
really is, yeah. So I just can't quit it. It
Well,
might
how did you meet
destroy
your-
the world, but
How did you meet your
Ken
husband?
M.
Ken M. In marching band,
do
evidently.
tell.
In marching band, he was 3 out of the 4 kids in his family met their spouse in marching band.
Ooh.
I
Marching
don't know
band is a
quite-
big social thing.
It is. And he was actually he was the drum major. And I and a whole bunch of music
Uh-oh.
majors had competed against him and the other eventual part two, drum major duo to be drum majors, and they didn't select the music majors. They selected, two people who had been drum majors in high school. And so all of us were really pissed about that for quite a while. But then this was the next year, and I'd forgotten all about that. And we started going. I was at the end of a long-term relationship, and I was kind of looking for somebody new. And a friend that I worked with at my work study job said, I know a really nice guy, and he's looking for a girlfriend. So I called him up and asked him out, and he had to look me up in the yearbook because he didn't know who I was.
You asked him out. That's very progressive.
Yep.
You were only a drum lieutenant, so he didn't remember.
Well, he remembers me as that girl who would always, because I would kind of dress up for my work study job. It was an office job, and so I would be wearing a dress, and then I would wear tennis shoes to marching band. So that was kind of the picture he had of me.
Well, you made some kind of an impact, though.
A somewhat deranged trumpet player.
Yeah, then there's trumpet.
I think most of them aren't they?
Well, yeah. And then his two brothers went on to be drum majors at Iowa State and met their future wives in marching bands. So.
Oh, that's
I don't
nice.
know. Maybe I could have got married a lot earlier if I would have been a drum major. I don't know.
In marching, yeah, marching band. There you go.
That's fine. I was a late bloomer, as they say.
Marching band was such a pickup scene. I
for the
can't
drum
believe I said that
majors.
with a straight face.
Eric, yes. I mean, man, he was.
And
when he was a
Andy
drum major.
R, actually, both.
Well, that's true.
We've had two drum majors on this podcast.
They both played the field.
Playa.
So one thing that getting to know you two again through the podcast and through Facebook that is interesting to me is that both of you seem to share the cooking duties, or maybe even primarily hold the cooking duties. And so my next question is, what is your spouse's favorite meal that you make for them? John. This is like the Newlywed Game, kind of, except we've all been married.
It is. Except
We have to do we need a new the old wed game.
Oldlywed.
Oldie moldy web.
Oldie wed. Moldy weds.
Oh, let's see. So I'm often accused of being a one-trick culinary pony, and because I have a few really good things that I make, but I have a lot of trouble coming up with something on the fly. That's MJ's specialty. She will pull together something, whatever we have in the fridge, that kind of thing.
Well,
I really need a recipe, but I can follow them well, and if the recipe's good, usually the food is good too. So probably the one, if I had to get, is there's a version of chicken marsala that I make occasionally that I think she'd probably pick that.
Huh. I don't know what... This is a tricky one. We both cook, but I'm the breakfast guy, basically. I mean, that's my specialty, I guess. I do all the breakfast because I get up...
Are you the breakfast flake? Remember that, Phil?
Yes.
Those stupid morning guys in some Rapid City station, they called themselves the breakfast flakes.
No, I forgot about that. I blocked it out.
I'm sorry, I remembered it.
The breakfast flakes. Oh my God!
I'm sure they weren't the only ones that had that name.
We got some Rapid City nostalgia back in here.
See,
did they record? Were you able to watch them at the that one little mall?
Oh yeah, we never
Southtown
talked about that. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, KKLS.
I'm hijacked. Yeah, you'd go down to the basement.
You could watch the DJ.
Yeah, they had the window, and you could look in on them.
they loved that, I'm sure.
And they had bumper stickers that had the slogan "Stick it in your ear."
Exactly.
That really made an impact on me, I think.
It was across. It was across the way from the in that lower level, across the way from the arcade.
Yeah, in that
back when they had an arcade.
What they called a mall, which died in early death.
Yes.
Early mall days. I get up way earlier than the rest of the family on Sunday usually, so I sit around and have some coffee. And then at some point I'll get breakfast going. So I do like a lot of different things so that people can have a real big breakfast every Sunday. That's kind of my specialty.
All right.
I don't know what she'd say was her favorite though, but
well, cooking for a family is hard. I mean, kids are usually fussy about something.
yeah, they all like breakfast though.
Yeah.
And then there's Brenner. You can do it for dinner sometimes.
So how about you, Glenda? What do you have?
Glenda's a real cook, chef kind of person. It seems like to me.
Well, and I have to say I've kind of handicapped myself, my husband, by I guess it mostly insisting on doing all the cooking because I kind of enjoy it. I like the cooking. I don't like the cleaning up nearly as much.
Oh, no.
But I enjoy cooking, so I haven't ever really taken the time to teach him how to do too much or to let him do too much. And that's okay. That's fine. I like to cook, and he helps put away things. So, but his favorite thing is probably
something really spicy. He likes the spicy things.
Yeah. He's very sensitive to chilies, and I could just eat spice all day long, and he just starts to sweat like the good South Dakota boy that he is. So I would say, although I think one of his favorite things that I make is something I totally made up called enchilada casserole, although it's more like a burrito where you layer.
I love that dish. We make that here too.
Okay, this is just the same. It's like
or
taco meat and
maybe
a tortilla.
Mexican lasagna, if you could even call it that.
Yes. Taco meat and a tortilla, and then refried beans and a lot of cheese and a tortilla and taco meat and some more cheese and another tortilla and layer that up. And
yeah, that's fancier than the version we make, I think. Sometimes there's like canned soup thrown in there.
Zombie lasagna.
Yeah, that would work too. Some of the cheese, the Campbell's nacho cheese soup would be perfect.
Yeah, whatever you have sitting around, pretty much.
Just throw it in there and layer it up. But he also likes just the good old steak and potatoes and some sort of vegetable, and he's quite happy.
South Dakota. Where is he from in South Dakota? Did you say?
He lived in Brandon for high school. They had kind of moved around the country, so but lived in Colorado for his elementary school and junior high years, and then moved to Brandon when I think he was a freshman.
Oh, and now you're back in Colorado.
Yeah, right outside of Sioux Falls. Yeah, that was always the kind of goal that we'd move back to Colorado. We drive by his old house every now and then.
In Brandon? No. You mean you go to South Dakota more than John does. It seems like you get the hammer down and go over to visit your parents down there.
Closer.
Go up, yeah. It's only about 6-7 hours up to see my parents near Hermosa, so I try and do that. Oh, okay. I better have another question. Okay, well, here is really the most important question of all. What does your spouse think about Taco John's? and what do they order if you go there? Phil.
Jody does not like Taco John's, so that gave me this idea. The idea that you probably needed to grow up on it. She doesn't see the appeal, and I think I don't know. I won't speak for John. He can answer that, but it might be the same answer.
Variation.
I don't know. A variation.
I suspect she probably is one of those people who prefers Taco Bell.
Oh no. Now see,
they snide.
They don't have Taco John's in Michigan. My wife is originally from Michigan, and that's the old. She hate her least favorite joke that I say is we met each other halfway, and we've been meeting each other halfway ever since.
Oh, well, that's like a good. That's not a joke. That's a good motto, I think.
Well, I think so too. But I don't think of it as a joke. But I kind of say it, and maybe that's why she doesn't like it. It's a tone. It's a
The
tone
delivery,
thing.
right?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, MJ actually, she's not. I wouldn't call her enthusiastic about it, but she does. She does like the potato olays.
Yeah, I think Jody liked those all right.
One time, we got an order of apple grande, and she thought it was disgusting. So
I personally agree with that assessment.
It's
of
not one of
Apple
my
Grande.
favorites at all.
No,
Although
that was a weird thing.
I'll eat almost anything with apple pie filling on it. I don't know. No, so actually, she likes the standard tacos. She also likes the taco salad. With
crispy taco bowl.
Yeah. She actually likes
Taco
those.
bowl kind of thing. Do they have those?
Oh yeah,
Taco
at least the
jars?
ones here do.
Oh, Jody might like that.
And I think the customization you do to make it to improve it is that you have them add refried beans in the bottom,
Oh,
and preferably with a big side of jalapenos.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's the preferred way to order them. So
They love it when you walk in. You ask for the weird pickled jalapenos and things
I always
like
make
that.
them get, and they pull out this giant jar of them.
Oh,
And
they're
theirs
like,
are
here
very
comes
good.
John.
So yes, she is very sympathetic. Does not have the same level of enthusiasm. There was not one in Gregory, South Dakota.
Oh, sad.
In fact, I think
Yeah.
they just got a Subway, which was the first food chain that town has ever had.
Just like recently?
Yeah.
Oh, man. They were putting Subways everywhere for a while there.
Yeah, they.
See, I go through Hot Springs a lot in my drives to South Dakota, and Hot Springs has had a Taco John's for a long time, and Subway came later there. They had a Taco John's and a Dairy Queen.
Oh, Dairy Queen.
I think it's
yeah.
just her family did not hit Taco John's. So
Oh, well.
I'm very well supported on my Taco John's. It's kind of expected that when I go visit my family in Rapid City that I'm going to go there at least once.
Well,
Yes,
I remember
and
Jody
I gave
once.
in and went to Taco Bell the other day because I wanted nacho fries, and they were terrible. The fries were old and soggy, and
yeah.
I don't remember what else I had, but I regretted it a few hours later, let me tell you that. There were unpleasant gastric effects.
The thing that gets dangerous with both the taco chains is they're both better if you stick to the basics. Because you can order some expensive shit at those places, and it's not that good.
No. Crispy taco, though?
Yeah,
Hard to go wrong.
Yeah, no, they're fine, and Taco Bell does have the sauces, which if you really douse them, they're not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to go to, my youngest daughter and I would go to Taco Bell every now and then while we were waiting. Because I would take her out of daycare. I didn't go to work on Thursdays. I had Thursdays off. I worked Saturdays instead for a while. And I'd take Adeline and I would have Taco Bell, because we don't have any Taco John's near us here. And then she could get weird blue soda and whatever else. It was while we waited for her older sister to get
that turquoise Mountain Dew that nobody else has.
Or she'd mix in some of the other colors too. But so we'd have lunch together while we waited for her older sister to get out of school, or kindergarten or preschool or whatever it was.
That's a bonding thing.
Yeah, and I would have rather had it be Taco John's, but it was okay. She had fun with the different weird sodas.
I know. Think about the power that these not Soda Stream, but the big Soda Stream machines that these fast food places have, where you can order up whatever you want. I mean, kids of our day were limited by the regular fountain drinks. You could only mix like 8 things together.
At most, maybe 4 or 5.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
the kids today, that's infinity and beyond.
Well,
You can make something really disgusting.
like those those touchscreen machines, which I'm
Exactly.
pretty sure I have not seen since the pandemic. little
I stopped.
not so sanitary.
Yeah, I stopped at Qdoba the other day, and they're dangerous. I accidentally ended up with like a orange vanilla Diet Coke, which is not at all what I wanted. So,
Ooh.
You know, some of those combos sound, when you see them there on the screen, they sound kind of good. Like, oh yeah, okay, orange, yeah, vanilla, okay, sure, there's a Coke, and it sucks.
yeah,
Well,
they never
it's
turn
so
out
artificial.
if you'd go to the old school soda fountains and get like a lime Coke or a lime phosphate or something like that, that's different. But
They're great.
yeah, but these things don't quite. Their lime Cokes are odd. I don't know. Hey, you know, why don't they have that for like cocktails, John?
Oh, like a giant machine?
Yeah, that you could make your own weird cocktails. I don't know. Let's do that. The Time's a Lean machine.
You couldn't pay. You would have to pay at the end though, because the different liquors.
You know, maybe
cost
they
different.
could structure it like the Froyo bar places where you pay by the pound,
Yeah.
Pay by the ounce.
Huh.
and the machine just has this little sensor. I mean, the Amazon stuff already knows what you're buying, so why not
Exactly.
just have the thing where it
Yeah.
measures how much Jim Beam is coming out of the tap?
Your drink is
Well-
$300.
Yeah. Oh
it's-
crap! I picked the 25-year-old Scotch button by mistake.
with
It
Grenadine.
scans your DNA and makes you the ideal drink, and that might be
Ooh.
$1.50, and it might be
Yeah, it's
$4.99.
AI whiskey or
Oh, it better not scan my DNA. I don't know what weird drink I'd get.
Okay, the in-depth question. What is the thing that you do that annoys or bothers your spouse the most? John, it's your turn.
Recording a podcast.
yeah, probably having the mic on when she's trying to do something in the same room.
and recording her inadvertently.
That's the
Yeah.
thing that annoys her the most,
You know,
John?
the last
That's
time,
one you could talk
she knew
about.
we were recording, and she still talked. So
We'll get her into the show one of these days.
someday she'll be a guest.
Maybe
and then
episode
shit is really gonna get
300,
real.
307. Episode
Sorry, she was
307.
just here. What is the most annoying thing?
Ask MJ's right there.
I'll just ask her.
She'll tell you though. You don't want to know. You don't
I
really want to
could pick
know.
so
Don't
many,
ask the
but
wife.
I have
Yeah.
this,
Where do I start?
I have this old man habit of going around the house turning off lights, which I blame my father for, and that's probably the thing I would pick offhand.
Oh my God, what would I pick? I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, it's all on. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's all on the spectrum, but I mean, they're like probably annoying in a way that is appealing somehow. I don't know the right word, but quaint. Something. There's a word there I'm looking for that's better.
Maybe you're looking for endearing. I don't know. Endearing? I don't get paid enough for this.
The most annoying thing. No one has had as much exposure to me as she has. we've been married a long time, but anyone that has even had limited exposure to me, I mean, they get a big kick out of me at first, but then I get more annoying as they get to know me.
Wear out your welcome. Huh?
Sure, but sometimes on purpose. But wow.
I'm
I
getting
don't know.
maple syrup nose off of this whiskey. Sorry, Phil. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I don't even know what to say. I'm going to think about it a minute. I need to think. Should we take a little
Okay.
break?
Sure.
And I probably still won't have an answer.
Okay.
Well, you could go ask her.
No, she's at work.
That's it, Phil. Asking her that is the thing.
Yeah. You know, it was really annoying when we'd have to go to Taco John's. She was like, well, why don't all these restaurants here, we're going to Taco John's. But that probably isn't the most annoying thing. Oh, my God. I'll think about it. I'll come back. I'm not going to have an answer, though.
I could coordinate the facilities.
I was a weird noise major.
What?
Oh, that was going to be a special surprise when you listen to the episode. Now we got to wait for John. My short breaks are shorter than John's. Someday somebody should ask us what the most annoying thing about each other is.
What do you find?
Phil, did you not go
that
downstairs?
John finds annoying. John, how do you annoy John, and how does John annoy you?
That's a different episode. I don't.
That'll be
okay,
our final episode. You know what? You suck. I quit.
Click. Bzzzt. And the narrator will come on and say wrong, and then we'll have a sequel podcast, the Old Man Show, where we just do every episode over again. Okay, so the thing that I'm gonna cop out a little bit here because I don't know if this is the worst thing, but it really bugs her when we're laying in bed trying to figure out what to watch together, and I go through every single thing, and I'm like, I flip and looking at all the different options, and I think that's pretty annoying to her.
I mean, what would you be like if you actually had real TV where there were channels?
Even worse.
And not just, it's
have one
almost
of the kids
worse now, actually. But
have one of the kids come in or change the channel for me. About the 50s, that's why people were having kids that were their remote controls.
Exactly.
So.
Somebody's got to run over to that big console TV through the shag carpet.
It's always the youngest kids.
Okay.
And then you might get a
shock.
So
I asked you what your favorite thing. Their favorite thing is that
Glenda, you did not answer the question.
Oh, did I not answer the question?
Yeah,
oh my gosh, I have so many annoying.
No, I don't think so.
It's hard to find the most annoying thing. I mean, maybe not for you, but I don't know. For me, it was.
Are you saying I have to answer this now?
You've been doing it so far,
okay.
So I guess if
it's too personal. What?
I leave my stuff everywhere.
You leave Oh, okay. Not actual literally shit.
No, I try not to.
I throw my feces around. He hates that.
But yeah, I'm kind of not a neat. I don't have a pick up after myself bone in my. I think my mom spoiled me. She was very. She picked up after us kids, and so I didn't ever learn that skill, and so I tend to leave a trail of destruction behind me.
And then you ask him where something is.
Where is the such and such?
So it's doubly annoying.
Probably under that pile.
When you were cleaning up after me, what did you do with this?
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem. He doesn't clean up after me, and I wish he would, but I guess that's his method of trying to make me do it.
No, that's a classic passive-aggressive expression there. Leave the garbage pile up long enough that maybe they'll notice and get the hint.
You just need to hire a pickup artist or whatever they call them.
That's the problem of having a cleaning person is that like you have to pick up the stuff you've left everywhere before they can come over and actually clean. And that's my main challenge is picking up the stuff. And so maybe I should have less stuff, but...
You're not a minimalist?
I am not a minimalist. I would like to be. I tend in that direction. I listen to those podcasts and think, yeah, that'd be great. But here I am in my sewing room, and I'm surrounded by so many different skeins of yarn and folds of fabric that it's just rather incredible.
You just never know when you're going to need them.
Exactly.
So good. SEWGOOD.
Yes.
There you go.
When you need to make a Bernie doll... crochet a Bernie doll. I had every yarn that I needed except for maybe one. I was prepared.
And then you went to buy it,
for the Bernie apocalypse. Okay, so I asked you what
Great.
you'd like, what they'd like you to cook for them. What, when you're going out to a nice restaurant, what are they going to order? See, we should have done this like the Newlywed Game, and I should have talked to them in advance and gotten questions. And
next year.
It
Although I was during the break, I was given some feedback when I mentioned we were doing Valentine's Day themed episodes. I think the quote was, "You don't get me shit." So there was some feedback about gift giving on Valentine's Day, I guess, but
chocolate is always good. But and I wouldn't recommend going out to eat on Valentine's Day because that's just a big disaster. But if you were to go out to eat at a nice restaurant like that, the place I'm going to go to in Minnesota when I come visit you after the quarantine, the old school Italian place, or is old school steak that has grilled bread.
Oh, Mancini's.
Yes.
Oh, Mancini's. Yeah,
we
maybe John will be playing
If
there.
you were going to go to Mancini's, what would they order?
Oh, that's easy. I'll go ahead and start. She usually is. I mean, she's a much bigger steak fan than I am, but she'd get a ribeye.
Done. Medium, medium well, medium rare.
Oh, quite rare.
South Dakota girl.
She is very much a pink.
She's
medium rare is red.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very, very much so.
Right.
I think a tartare.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So she's gonna get the rice. She's gonna get the baked potato. She's gonna get the fries, sweet potato
baked
fries.
potato with lots of sour cream and all that stuff.
And what is she gonna have to drink with that?
Diet cola. She's not a fan of alcohol.
Okay.
So she prefers other things.
Other mind-altering things like mushrooms. No, I'm kidding. Methamphetamine.
Mushrooms, but meth. She's on it.
She's a good South Dakota girl. She's on meth.
She's abandoned her roots.
Meth is so good.
Almost as good as COVID.
Yeah.
South Dakota.
No, she loves all the Mancini stuff. The steak, the charred bread, the salad swimming in that dressing, and the pickles and peppers and tomatoes on that big plate. Yeah, I really can't wait to go back there. Actually.
Well, we can take Glenda and Ken M there someday when you're performing. Maybe even.
We will have. I hope I get to go back and play there. That would be great.
A triple date. Maybe Matt P and Beck.
Yeah,
Bix.
everybody
Bix.
in our family likes that place. So
we'll all go. We'll just have to rent a whole room.
To get the special part. Go get the party room.
We'll have the time to lean night.
We'll all be leaning on the walls.
And not to make it about me, but they do great old fashions, and they're just super basic, but they don't fuck them up. They're really good.
Yeah, good old school. Cocktails
they've managed to hold on during the pandemic,
good.
So I'm happy to hear that.
Well,
so yes, we'll go there.
Many years ago, do you remember Jack's? In
Jack's
Northeast?
Cafe.
Yeah.
Jody
and I went. Jody, we used to live in Northeast Minneapolis, and Jack's was. It's not the equivalent of Mancini's in Northeast. It's totally different, but it's kind of a supper club thing. But we were looking at an old. We were there for some. This was pre-kids. We were there for some sort of. Maybe it was a New Year's dinner. I don't know. Or it might have been a Valentine's dinner. But where you go and they have like a few choices, and we were looking on the. I think it was like a poster of like a really old menu that they used to have, and this thing kind of jumped out at us, a sidecar. So while we were waiting to be seated, we were sitting at the bar and having a cocktail, and she ordered that. I said, "We'll try it. Maybe the bartender knows how to make it." I'd never heard of it. That was way before I was into cocktails, but and made her a sidecar. That's probably her favorite drink. I haven't quite mastered it. I do make it at home. She likes it a little bit on the sweeter side, so I'm still working on it. I got a few more years.
When
probably.
you said old menu, you were going to say that you wanted to order something in aspic or something like that.
The trout on gelée.
Yes.
Because fish jello
Jack's
is
Cafe
awesome.
is a cool place. Yeah.
Is that still going? I hope so.
It's still going, apparently. My family went there many years ago for a grandmother's 80th birthday party, and they made us all custom matchbooks.
Oh
With
wow!
her name on them, little paper matchbooks.
Yeah, that place is fun. There's another place Northeast that I think this reminds me I should probably take Jody there again one of these days. But because Jody was she studied abroad in Germany, one of her years of college. So we went. What's the name of that German place in Northeast?
Oh,
it's like
Gasthof.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are both big fans of that place, and we can't wait to go eat there again.
Oh, we'll have to all go there too. We're gonna
they've
take
been
Glenda
shut
and
down
Ken everywhere.
the whole time. So
Have some
Yeah.
Jaeger Schnitzel and Spätzle.
they do these huge shared platters of German
Oh, nice.
food. And they make their own
and the boot.
beer, and they have the accordion players running
yeah.
around, and they give you the snuff things up your nose. And
Oh, the snuff. Yeah, and they pop it. It
Yeah.
pops right into your. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Wakes you up,
and the
and-
boot.
you can get a boot full of beer, and at the very end of the night, you get a shot of apple schnapps.
And then they say, good night, good luck getting
And
home.
you've got stuff up your nose,
Yeah.
and you're drunk, and off you go.
And if you go during Oktoberfest, you see
Oh.
some crazy shit.
There's things going on with those boots that you don't want to think about.
That's right. Yeah, we really miss that stuff.
Das
You
Boots.
just can't do it right now.
No, so I guess I would say
Okay,
that.
well, so
That's
she's
where I
going to
would
have an
take-
old-fashioned. What else is she going to have, Phil?
Well, no, a sidecar.
Oh, sidecar, sorry. Yeah,
oh,
those are good.
oh,
I
yeah,
like
so-
sidecars, too.
Well, to
Yes.
eat, boy, she you know what, she likes a lot of different things. She likes to try different things. So like, because when I first moved out here, she introduced me to Indian food and because I never had that in South Dakota. I don't know if there's such a thing. What? See, because you're that kind of person too, Glenda. I get the impression you like to try a lot of different things, and at least from Facebook, you're like. I think that's kind of you want to, if you go to a new restaurant or something, you're going to try something
Well,
you
I'm going
haven't
to try
had
the
before, I
craziest
think.
thing they have on the menu. Which is difficult. You know, Ken just doesn't enjoy that as much as I do, so it's challenging. He's not going to go to Indian food with me or Ethiopian, but yeah, I've had Ethiopian several times. I love it. I love the eating,
Yeah, we like it,
eating
too.
with the spongy bread, the injera, and it's quite fun.
My biggest complaint about is that if you, assuming you eat with your hands, that there's so much spice, oil stuff on all that veggies and meat is your hands smell for a week.
Yeah, you kind of pick up the
And,
cumin.
the last time we were there, and this was at it's not Americanized at all. Put it that way. There were. I assume they were Ethiopian descent. I don't know, but they were using utensils to eat all their Ethiopian food. And I just said, "What the? I'm such a sucker." I'll just next time
yeah, see-
I'm gonna get a fork. Damn it!
I think Jody and I were not, at least at the Ethiopian restaurants we've been to, we weren't huge fans of the spongy bread. I don't know why, but we love naan in Indian
yeah.
food. Naan. We
You have
could
to
just,
really like that sourdough taste. I mean,
I
it's
love
very,
sourdough,
very,
though.
but it's very strong sourdough.
Yeah, and it's kind of
No.
the fermentation, which I don't like a lot of other fermented things. I'm not a kimchi fan, but I like the injera a lot.
Well, especially
I'll
if
have
you
to
get
try
the
it
right
again
stuff
someday.
to eat with it.
Yeah.
I think. And some of that
Yeah.
some of that food is so heavily spiced. that it works well.
Oh, I have to look back at my questions here. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Get
So
back on
many
track.
of these are
Save us.
rooted around food because, hey, that's what I'm interested in. So the commonality between you two is that, both of you with your spouses probably go back to Rapid City. Sporadically, occasionally. Way more, before this year. So when you go back to Rapid City, what do you do? Where do they like to go? And where do you like to eat?
I haven't been there for so long, and the restaurants change. A long time ago, because Jody kind of complained about, there must be better places to eat than us.
John's.
Yeah. So I took her. I think my dad and one of my parents watched the kids for a while, and we went to Corn Exchange, which isn't there anymore.
That was good, though.
Yeah.
But is it there? No,
I don't
it's
know.
not there
I
anymore.
don't know.
I don't think it's there anymore. That was many years ago, and so then she thought, okay, this is all right. But because I did have to. It's like, okay, I need to branch out a little bit here. Sorry, Jody. But my dad always and my dad and stepmom would always take us to that place in Hill City, that
Alpine Inn.
Alpine Inn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was a must. That was a must go to place.
We had our wedding rehearsal dinner at Alpine Inn.
Yeah, that's a good place. That's probably the only place that's still there. I'm trying to think of other places I don't know.
Occasionally went to, and I can't remember the name, of course, Grinder. Somebody's Grinder. Grinder King?
BJ's Grinder
Yeah.
King.
BJ's Grinder King.
Oh, that's one of my mom's long lost favorites. It's been gone for a long
Yeah,
time.
that's a favorite from the past.
They made this. It's basically a sub or a hoagie, but they put this kind of cabbage stuff in there too. It's some East Coast thing, I guess.
That was tasty.
But they were really good.
Way too East Coast for South Dakota, I guess. It was
Just
there
for a
for a
while.
long time,
Apparently,
though,
what
wasn't
happened is the owners did okay, and then they sold it, and the people who bought the place kind of fucked it up.
As is true in so many
Got-
of these.
Got rid of the
cases.
cabbage.
John, what do you do
Okay,
when you go home to
In
Rapid City?
probably the thing she would first ask for is the Colonial House cinnamon or caramel.
Oh yeah,
rolls.
Colonial House.
Oh, Colonial House.
Because
Yeah.
they're partially because if you get there too late in the morning, they're always sold out of them, which is very frustrating.
Gotta be on top of it.
Assholes.
It really it is. Yeah, you got to get there early or go early in the morning and grab a box of them. So
I've been to a couple Knowles breakfasts at the. They need a Knowles room at the Colonial House or something.
yeah,
Because if everybody goes, I mean, my God, that's 20 people.
and you know what?
Right.
Yeah, we talked about this last time, Glenda, but she was a big fan of the Lintz Brothers pizza.
Yes,
So,
the
that's probably up there
flaming
too.
hot German Samoan.
And she loved the Big Mac pizza.
They do good work
So
there.
I don't know the last time we were in Rapid. It's been a long time. Yeah, maybe next year.
Exactly. I mean, I've gone home to Hermosa.
Or later.
But usually my mom and I go into town together and go eat Chinese food because my dad doesn't like Chinese food. And go to thrift stores. And, obviously we haven't done that since the whole COVID thing. So
Yeah.
have I run out of in-depth drink? Okay, I said favorite drink. In-depth questions here. I'm real Barbara Wawa.
What kind of tree would I be?
If you were a candy bar,
I'd be. If I was a tree, I'd be a birch tree.
Would you rather be
And
a tree or a fish?
I got to try a new birch beer. I've been into these weird sodas lately, and I got a birch beer from Yachts Club. So in a different episode, I don't know if it's the last one because we might be out of order now. But I talked about I tried a birch beer that was a little bit more like a melted root beer popsicle, but this had natural birch flavor in it, and It's kind of wintergreen is how I'll describe it, but that was better. I took my youngest daughter on her birthday to this. There's a Blue Sun soda shop that has all kinds of weird sodas, and we all picked out some weird ones to try. And I said, "Oh, good, more beer." They have several birch beers. I'm very excited. Anyway, whatever. Fine.
And you would say Jody's favorite drink is a sidecar.
Yeah, I mean, she likes gin and tonics and other weird things I've tried, but I guess I think the sidecar is probably your favorite.
And John, MJ's Diet Coke, Diet.
She's a Diet Pepsi is her main thing. Okay. Although if she's having booze, it's rare, but she likes
it's medium rare.
Bloody Mary kind of thing.
Ah, okay.
She likes the bloody stuff.
Oh, yeah, she likes Bloody Marys. Yeah, especially all the accessories that go on them. All the meat, cheese, and olives.
Some of them have a whole freaking cheeseburger stuck on a knife and stuck in the drink.
Yeah, that's a favorite. For the few times she has those, that's. And she also occasionally will drink red beers.
Oh, okay. And this is a South Dakota red beer.
The tomato juice, Bud Light, whatever. Yes. Yeah.
Because I've had people in Colorado have issue with what a red beer is.
Oh, I know.
And that you should also, throw a few olives in there.
Yeah, no, that totally goes. Yeah.
Well, the olive beer.
Oh.
Is that a green beer?
Sure. Could be worse. Okay, final question about this. Favorite place you have traveled with your spouse on just a you and the spouse trip?
Oh.
John.
Probably, I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but probably some of our Mackinac Island trips that we've done.
That's right. You've talked about that.
Yes, we have those. We've been going a number of times just ourselves, and that's been really nice. So probably that. Nothing in South Dakota.
Yankton.
Although we had a really nice time in Dallas, Texas, a couple of years ago when she was down there for a work thing.
Yes,
which I think I talked about a long time ago.
You enjoyed some barbecue.
Oh, it was amazing.
Phil.
So that's probably those two.
I'm thinking. Hold on.
Don't count.
It's been so long since we've been on a trip.
It feels like
kids.
forever right now. Like we've been able to go anywhere.
Or just a trip in general, right? But I mean without kids. That's almost a trick question. Okay, hold on.
Well, Glenda, do you have one?
Well, all of my trips are without kids, but probably Sanibel Island.
Oh, I've heard that's really nice.
This is another strange tendency. I go and pick up all kinds of seashells and bring them home and don't do anything with them. But it's kind of fun to pick them up. And it's on the ocean. It's very nice. It's warm. It has good restaurants.
And right now, since I think the high was 14 here today, I think that sounds great.
Yeah.
I guess So before we had kids, I tagged along on one of her work conferences to New Orleans. That was fun.
Yeah.
But I think probably our best trip was with kids, and it was we went to Key West. We haven't done a lot of family trips, and we said, okay, gosh darn it, we're going to actually do a big family trip. My kids are like, I don't want to go anywhere, but we had a lot of fun in Florida. So pre-COVID.
Yeah, make them go while you still can. Yeah.
Yes.
I've been meaning. One of my favorite places anywhere is Yellowstone, and Jody and I had a good trip there too. But that's a whole other story. It was kind of, I don't know, but I've been meaning to take the kids. We should all go to Yellowstone one of these days before this caldera blows up or whatever. But
and kills us all.
Sure. or most of us.
You guys are in Minneapolis.
All of us
I'm in Denver. I'll be dead.
Yeah, it'll change our climate at least. But yeah, but I don't know. Maybe someday we'll go there together. I like Yellowstone.
Yeah, it's funny when we were growing up. We went on lots of mostly summer trips, and the funny thing is that I don't think we were really given an option at the time. We're going. Pack your
You're
stuff.
Our kids,
we're all
so
getting
you're
in
coming
the van.
along.
Yeah, and we're going to drive from Rapid City to the East Coast, and this is what we're going to do. And maybe if you're lucky, we'll stay in a holodome on the way, and you can swim.
Yes. Otherwise, you
the
amuse yourselves
holodomes.
in the van.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
talk about old people talk, but I mean, what did we do for all those hours and hours?
We had
hours
contests to see
back
how many
there?
grapes you could fit in your mouth at one time.
Yeah, it's shit like that. I mean, yeah, I did attempt to at some point one of those trips. I remember really trying hard to read The Lord of the Rings and failing. I just couldn't.
That
stay
would be
awake.
hard. I was going to say that would be hard to read a book in your family with your family in a van.
Yeah, I mean you're traveling, and yeah, it just didn't work. So
You didn't pre-book on tapes.
Exactly.
no, it was such a huge deal when you got Walkmen, so to speak, and you could sit there and listen to stuff on tapes and pass the time doing that. That was really a revolution for us in the back seat.
And not have to argue with your siblings about what was going to be listened to.
No, and
remember-
of course I do have memories of just being in cars driving, probably between here and Iowa because we went there so many times from family meetups, but just sitting there turning the AM dial wherever you can find something. That's all there was. And
I still do that on some road trips. I'll just take a break from the CDs or whatever and just kind of
CDs. Sorry.
I know. I'm still way back there. I don't have the thing plugged in, right? The USB thing. The iPod. Fine. iPod? No, but...
Do they even make iPods anymore? I don't think they do.
No. I have one
I do
still
too.
somewhere.
It
It probably has 4 songs
the
on
pod.
Yeah.
Well, and you've
Iggy
seen my
Pod.
car. I posted on Facebook that I hit 294,000 miles. It does not have a interface to plug in electronic. It has a CD player, so I mostly
Yeah, my older car still has a tape player in it.
It is fun to listen to some of the radio stations when you're out and about. It gets old pretty fast, but they're still stuck on that, that that voice of God kind of announcer, that the Black Hills will never be the same, that kind of thing. And I just get a kick out of that. It's fun to listen to, but the music isn't always that great, but you can find an oldie station sometimes that you can hit. That's
our
fun.
last big band station in Denver. It's been big band swing for forever. Has now gone to sports betting radio, which I was unaware that this was a niche, but apparently it is.
Oh no, that sounds like a terrible transition.
That's going to be awful.
Is this people talking about the sports bets they're making? How do you make a channel out of that? I don't get it. The Broncos for one.
Yeah, exactly.
The only reason we have a jazz radio station here is because they're like connected to the State Department of Transportation, and they read traffic reports. And I guess that's
I don't
how
think
they
that's
stay
the only.
alive.
That's not the only reason, but it helps, right?
No, I suspect that's why they're still on the
Keeps
air.
them going.
The traffic report. Yeah, every 14 minutes during rush hour. I haven't listened to them recently. Are they doing that now during
I
the
know they're still
pandemic?
around. I don't listen.
No, I listen to the channel sometimes, but there isn't as much traffic as there used to be in the old days.
Just give it time.
Yeah, I think Denver is just about back to normal traffic.
It's creeping up. Yeah, I've noticed when I'm out and about. There are a lot more people on the roads in the morning.
So, Glenda, do you have any other questions?
I do not have any other... Okay, John, I have a whiskey question.
Woo!
Okay. So, I like to make my whiskey sours, and I follow the recipe with whiskey and lemon juice and simple syrup. And I shake it up in my shaker. But then I have to pour it out of my shaker, and there's ice in that shaker. Then I have to pour it out of the shaker into a glass with fresh ice. Why?
Yes.
Why do I need fresh ice? What's wrong with the ice in the shaker?
It probably melts too fast, I'm guessing, is the reason they would say that.
Because I have noticed there is a little bit of a difference. Sometimes I will just pour the shaker in there.
Well, do you find that, so if you taste it out of the shaker before it's over the ice, is it too strong or too sweet or anything?
I don't know if I could put that kind of label on it. I think it just feels a little more clean, a little more sharp if I pour it off of the ice that I shook it with onto fresh ice.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, you don't want soiled ice in there. Don't put the ice back in.
So it's not like a martini where you're going to just... It's already being diluted when you shake it with ice. And you don't want to dilute it more. What you could do is get a really big ice cube.
Just one big ice cube.
Yeah, one big square sphere or something like that, and just pour it over that, and at least it doesn't melt as quickly that way.
I have a suggestion. I think it's called a New York sour, but I could be wrong. Float a little bit of your favorite red wine on top of there. So you make the whiskey sour, but just put a little red wine on top. It kind of makes it bloody. Maybe MJ would like that.
I bought the equipment, the ingredients to make a. You talked about it in the past. It's Lillet, a Vesper.
Yes.
Or a Vespa, as Phil refers to it as.
Vespa. You go for a ride on your scooter.
I have not concocted the Vesper yet, but I am prepared.
Vespers are, obviously very tasty, and it's very easy to drink them.
Yeah, don't have two in a row or I'll write a song about you.
Hey. Well, Glenda, this has been great. I'm really glad
that was fun.
Encouraged us to do this.
Well, I put you on the spot, but this is the sort of thing I like to hear people's stories, and I like to know people's relationship stories.
Yeah.
So this is the sort of thing I would ask you if we're sitting around the table at Mancini's. So when we are sitting around the table at Mancini's, I will ask your wives for their side of the story.
And you'll get totally different answers.
Exactly.
Lots of eye rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be one of the few Valentine's days I have not had a gig.
Oh, yeah.
This coming up one.
Now the pressure's on, John. You need to get a medium rare steak.
You better get to planning there.
Yeah, we'll figure out something. I think some of the nicer restaurants are doing these make-at-home things that I'm going to maybe do.
Or some kind of takeout thing.
I saw one in Colorado today that was a heart-shaped pizza and 2 bottles of wine, and I was like, well, that sounds good to me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I want a heart-shaped bottle of wine and 2 pizzas. No. Okay, well, fine. Thank you. God bless America.
Nice to talk to you again, Glenda. And...
Thank you. This was a great idea.
This was fun.
Super duper friendly friend of the show.
We'll figure out what our next,
Glenda M.
what the next holiday extravaganza is.
Easter.
We haven't done an Easter special.
Oh no.
I have some stories about egg hunts. Fine.
I've had way more to drink than I usually have at 5:41 on a Wednesday.
I I can't say the same for me, but
I'm
okay.
feeling good.
I'm glad. Feeling good in the neighborhood.
Whee!
Electric Boogaloo
No boogaloo.
boys.
Okay,
The Boogaloo boys.
Good night.
all right.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Skeins of yarn and folds of fabric. Skeins of yarn and folds of fabric. Skeins of yarn and folds of fabric.
Here's the song!
Will you still love me post-quarantine? All my bad habits previously unseen have been exposed in our new reality. It isn't pretty, I'm sure you'd agree. Working from home, mission creep. I drink lots of whiskey to help me sleep. But I wake up at 3 when I need to pee. And I wonder if you're dreaming of me. Will you still love me after our shots? We're growing together in more ways than we thought. Will you still want me post-COVID game? Almost insane, migraine, brain drained, mind-numbing boredom, but yet not disdain. Before we were caught in this web or this net, not like the movies, and not quite kismet. Water and wine, bread and bodies, stuck in between pandemic bourgeoisies. Sometimes it's like we're under house arrest. We haven't killed each other yet, so I guess we're blessed. New normal lockdown, unprecedented times. New cliches, bait and switch, new paradigms. Will you still love me after our shots? We're growing together in more ways than we thought. Will you still want me post-COVID game? Almost insane, migraine, brain drain, mind-numbing boredom, but yet not disdain. much drunk, but not yet. Judy and Punch. Will you still love me after our shots? We're growing together in more ways than we thought. Will you still want me post-COVID gay? Almost insane, migraine, brain drain, mind numbing boredom, but yet not disdain.